Final Destination, Bloodlines, a full narrative summary. In the spring of 1968, the grand opening of the Skyview Tower, a shining beacon of modern architecture, drew an elite crowd. Among the guests was a young woman named Iris Campbell, vibrant and hopeful, engaged to be married, and excited for her future. But as she stood upon the tower's breathtaking glass floor, something inside her twisted. A dark, overwhelming sense of dread surged through her. Within moments, vivid images flooded her mind. A leaky gas pipe, a chandelier falling, the floor shattering, and bodies plunging to their deaths below. She screamed. Chaos erupted. Most people scrambled to escape. Minutes later, a gas explosion tore through the building. Many died, but many survived, thanks to Iris. The world called her a miracle, but Iris knew better. She hadn't saved them, she had only delayed death. 50 years later, decades pass. Stephanie Reyes, a 20-something college student, is haunted by inexplicable nightmares. They're not her own memories, but vivid, chaotic visions of a disaster she never witnessed. In every dream, she sees a woman warning people, screaming, flames, bodies falling. Disturbed, she returns to her estranged hometown to seek answers. Her younger brother Charlie, still living with their father, welcomes her back cautiously. But there's tension. Something unspoken lingers in the household. Stephanie tries to reconnect with her mother Darlene, but their relationship is strained. The rest of the family, her uncle Howard, Aunt Brenda, and their children Eric, Julia, and Bobby, are cold, even fearful of her. Stephanie learns that she's the great-niece of Iris Campbell, the woman who had the original vision in 1968. Her mother has spent her life trying to bury that past. But Stephanie is pulled toward it. Driven by intuition, she treks deep into the forest, where she finds an isolated, crumbling cabin. Inside lives Iris Campbell, now a frail, dying old woman. Her eyes, however, are sharp as ever. Iris tells her everything, the curse of the bloodline. What Stephanie thought were nightmares were in fact inherited memories, psychic echoes passed through blood. After Iris's vision in 1968 cheated death, those spared that day began dying in freak accidents. One by one, death reclaimed its victims. But it didn't stop there. When it couldn't reach the survivors directly, it hunted their children. Now, with Iris on her deathbed, Stephanie's generation, the descendants, are next in line. Iris warns her. Death follows an order, a list. It kills in sequence unless the pattern is broken. Stephanie doesn't believe it, not fully, until Iris dies that night and the deaths begin. A new wave of tragedy first is Howard, Stephanie's uncle. His heart gives out while fixing a ceiling fan that suddenly short-circuits and collapses. The death is written off as accidental. Then comes Eric, a tattoo artist who survives a bizarre near miss when a fire breaks out in his studio. He laughs it off, until the MRI machine he enters days later, forgetting his many metal piercings, activates and tears his body apart in gruesome silence. Julia, his sister, is next. While retrieving her soccer ball from behind a dumpster, she falls in. The compactor starts unexpectedly. Her screams are muffled by the crushing gears. Bobby, the youngest cousin, suffers from a peanut allergy. Though always careful, he unknowingly consumes a contaminated snack. While doctors stabilize him, a vending machine malfunctions nearby. A snapped coil launches a candy bar and a fatal metal spring straight into his eye. He dies instantly. As the deaths mount, panic spreads through the remaining family. Darlene, once in denial, now pleads with her daughter to find a way out. Bloodworth returns. Desperate, Stephanie seeks out William Bloodworth, a mysterious mortician who appears to know too much. He once helped survivors decades ago, including Iris. Bloodworth confirms her fears. Death is reclaiming what was stolen. The only way to cheat it is to interrupt the sequence. He offers one risky solution. Stephanie could die briefly and be revived. If successful, it might reset her place on death's list, but it must be voluntary and dangerous. One last chance. At the hospital, during a minor flood caused by a burst pipe, Stephanie convinces Charlie to help her go through with the plan. She overdoses on a sedative and goes into cardiac arrest. Charlie performs CPR as alarms blare around them. For a terrifying moment, her heart flatlines. Then, a pulse. She's alive. Doctors storm in. Nurses scream. Charlie breaks into tears. They think they've won. But Bloodworth appears once more. His face gives nothing away. Death doesn't forget, he warns. It just recalculates. The final destination. As Stephanie and Charlie attempt to leave the hospital, the air grows still. The sky darkens. A freight train, transporting logs, speeds along the tracks just beyond the emergency exit. A single screw falls from a support beam above. The platform tilts. The train derails. Logs fly through the air like missiles. One crashes through the hospital corridor window. Another smashes into an ambulance. Then, a thunderous crack. Charlie and Stephanie, still holding each other's hands, are crushed beneath a falling timber. Their blood paints the hospital floor. Aftermath, silence. The scene fades to black. A penny rolls across the floor of Iris's abandoned cabin, coming to rest atop an old Bible. It spins, slowly, then topples. In the distance, a crow cries. Roll credits. Final destination. Bloodlines ends not with triumph, but inevitability. For all their struggles, the characters never truly escape, because death doesn't bargain, and it never loses.